Hey guys, welcome back to Magic TV. My name's Craig. It is 9 o'clock on a Monday, which means it's time for a 5x5. Now, if you've not seen the 5x5 series before, the idea is very simple. I talk about 5 different subjects related to magic. I spend 5 minutes talking about each subject. There is a countdown timer at the bottom of the screen. When the countdown reaches 0, I move on to the next topic. So it's always quick, it's always snappy. You never know what you're going to get. And for the last few weeks, I have always been starting the 5x5s with live performance videos, and they seem really popular, so we're not going to change that anytime soon. So the first video is going to be a live performance video of me at an actual gig, performing magic, performing close-up magic, so you can see the full performance, warts and all. You can see absolutely everything. And then in the second section, I'm going to take that same video and I'm going to do a commentary track over the top, breaking down everything that I do in that video, why I do what I do. And I like to touch on topics like audience management and trick selection and angles and approach and everything like that we've talked about on Magic TV. And you can actually see my thinking behind the stuff that I'm talking about. So that's going to be the first 2 segments, but there is an awful lot happening on this episode of Magic TV on 5x5 as well. So without further ado, let's get straight on with the live performance.
Right, guys, this is one of my favourite tricks. I want you to see something. I have 2 coins inside this purse. How you doing, sir? I'm so sorry to wake you. I have 2 coins inside this purse. Have a look at the purse, make sure it's okay. I got these from like a New Age shop. That's a purple one. It says health and chakra on it. That is a green one. You can have a look at that one. Check them out, make sure they're okay. Take your time, I get paid by the hour. So have a look at them. Are they okay? Yes. Very good. That's the purple one, and that's the green one. Has anybody got the purse? Where's the purse? Oh, there you go. The purse goes here. So here's the thing, guys. You're going to have Tracy, we've got green and purple, okay? Come really close. Green and purple. Have a look at this. It's a gambling game. If you win, if you get it right, it means you win. We're not going to play for money, we're just going to play for fun. You do not want to play me for money. We're just going to call this one purple, this one green, okay? Now watch carefully. Watch. You can all play along, but watch. If I take the green one, put it here, where's the green one? So we say not over there, is that right? You missed the switch, most people do. I'll do it again, but purple and green. If I put the green one there, where's the green one? Are you sure? So you're not saying that you missed the switch again? Imagine however annoying you're finding this, imagine what's like being married to me. Look, I'll go really slowly, really slowly, really slowly. There's the green. The green goes here, now watch. Where's the green? Are we sure? Because it could be the other way. It is that one, it is there. Of course, if I wanted to do the switch, it would look like this. Look, come closer. Can you see this? Can you see this? Look, there's the green. I don't know why the lights have gone off, but there's the green. There's the copper. There's the purple, right? I'll let you see the moment it happens. Watch. I'll take the purple here, the green here. If I do this, you can see the switch happen. It's really quick. Big finish. You know what? They missed that because the light was off. Let me do that again. Do you see the green? Do you see the purple? Watch. 1, 2, 3. It's kind of weird. I know. I love the look on your face. Big finish. Show your hand out for me. Watch. There's the green. There's the purple. Make it finish. Turn your hand. Reach in through your thumb hole. Take out the bottom coin, put it on the back of your hand. Straight at the back of the hand. There you go. Now watch. Watch. It's going to happen on the count of 3. Can you see this? It happens on the 3. Watch. 1, 2. That's when I've got the purple. If I've got the purple, turn your hand over and out. You've got green.
So, we're going to talk about the purple and green coin routine, which is one of my favourite coin routines to perform. This is a transposition with 2 sort of chakra style coins. I've talked about this on the channel many times before. It's one of my favourite creations. You can learn it on my second Alakazam Coin Magic Academy. Now, first thing I want you to notice is I'm going to hand out, when I'm doing a routine like this, it's really important to have the coins examined. Now, I need to switch one of them for a double-sided coin. And I want you to see how this is done, because a lot of people ask me the question. Notice I'm doing a transfer at that point, so the coin is now in my left hand. And I do a switch, and then have them place that coin onto the coin that's just switched in. Then I put the purse away in my pocket, ditching the coin. It's all very natural, and it doesn't seem like anything's taken place, but I've now ringed my gimmicked coin in. Now, there's a few things I want you to see here. With the transposition, it's very important that people understand what is where, which is why I like these coins, because their vibrant colours make it really easy to follow. I'm using a double-sided coin, so please notice that when I'm doing the routine, a lot of the time I'm showing the other side of the coin. I can show the other side off. Even though they've just been examined, it's subtle reinforcement. Now, how you present a routine like this is totally up to you. My performing character kind of gets away with performing this as kind of a, hey, did you miss the switch? Did you see the switch? I'm not trying to pretend I'm doing real magic at any point. And notice everything. There's a certain economy of motion. It's not like there's any dodgy moves. Now, this is really interesting. I was performing in a very dark place, and there was a light on. And for some reason, the light went off, and it went really dark. Now, I carried on performing, and I tried to move my hands into a position where there was more light. But I knew that it was going to be quite dark. And I knew that maybe not everybody would be able to see what was going on. So when the light comes back on, I do reference the fact that it's gone dark. When the light comes back on, I repeat that previous phase because it's the most visual phase. So this phase that you're seeing right here, I repeat it because I want people to see that moment. And I think that's something that we need to learn as performers. There's so many external factors that can affect your performance, and the important thing is not to get phased by it. We'll come back to that in a minute. Now, the finale to most routines like this is to do a transposition in the spectator's hands. Now, I ask her to take the coin out and put it on the back of her hand, and notice she turns the coin over, which is not a good situation for me to be in because it's going to expose, it's going to be the wrong way around. Or maybe even worst case scenario, expose the gimmick. So notice I see that she's turning her hand over, and as soon as I do, my hands go in to grab it and write it. And it doesn't seem like anything's happened, but I'm able to write that problem before it becomes a problem. And that's another important point for you to learn from, which is, again, when you're performing for real people, you never know what they're going to do. She wasn't purposefully trying to mess me up. It's just that if I had allowed that to happen, it would have. So you're constantly needing to keep on top of what the spectators are doing. You can call it audience management, whatever you want to call it. But it's important to keep on an eye on the spectators. And it's important to know what you're going to do in a scenario like that before it happens, because then you're not going to feel worried. You're not going to feel nervous. Instead, you have a solution. In that case, I knew I had literally 1 second to swoop in and deal with the situation before the gimmick was exposed. So, it's about knowing that. When you go and perform a routine in the real world, it needs to make sure that you've got all of the outs in place. You know where it can go wrong and how to fix it. And then circling back very quickly to the lighting problem, external factors will affect your performance all the time. It might be a waitress dropping plates. It might be the lights going out. It might be, there's a million different things that can affect your performance. The important thing is not to allow it to fluster you. The important thing is not to allow it to affect the performance that you're doing, but instead you just work around it. And if there's parts of the routine that you need to re-perform, like there, that's what you do. That's why a routine like this that's multi-phase is so strong, because it allows me to dip in and out and repeat phases, which you couldn't do in a more linear trick. So there you go. Hopefully that helps. I think the big take home here is you can't perform without being able to adapt to external factors that are out of your control.
Okay, guys, so I've been doing a lot of videos on this channel recently on tricks with pool balls and tricks with kind of giant ball bearings and things like this. And I've had several people ask me, what's the best way to put together a ball holder? Because to be honest, there's a lot of ball holders that you can get from magic shops, and some of them are okay, some of them are absolutely terrible. I've bought so many ball holders, and you attach it to the inside of your jacket, and you're walking around and the ball just falls out within seconds. And really, when you're doing tricks with pool balls and you're doing tricks with big balls, I mean, this is a little bit small, but this is all I had in the office. You want to have a ball holder. You don't want to have it in your pockets. Your pockets are vitally important to hold all the other stuff. And I've done videos before on pocket management, but unless you're going out kind of impromptu, if you're going out to an actual gig, I always suggest, if you're going to do magic with balls or pool balls or anything like that, you need a ball holder. Now,
this, I'm going to go all Blue Peter on you guys, and I'm actually going to teach you how to make a ball holder out of a sock and a pair of scissors. And it's how I always do. This is the ball holder I've used for years. In fact, I bought a trick out many years ago, about 10 or 12 years ago, called Pool Ball Miracles. And in there, I actually taught how to make this ball holder, and I've taught it in a couple of lectures as well. And the amount of people that actually use this method for using a ball holder. So I thought I'd teach it you very quickly on a 5x5. First of all, what is a ball holder? Well, the idea of a ball holder is it normally sits inside your jacket, down beneath the lining. So it's normally pinned to the inside of your jacket, and the ball will be held in place in the ball holder just above the bottom edge of the jacket. So the whole idea is you can pin one over there, and when you want to grab the ball, you just drop your hands to your side, you grab the ball out, and it comes away in palm, and then you've got it for whatever routine you're needing to use it for. As I said, the problem with our commercially available ball holders is the ball falls out as you're walking around, or it doesn't come out very well. So this is how I do it. Now, first of all, what you'll need to do, I'm sacrificing my Incredible Hulk sock for this, so I hope you appreciate what I'm going through for you. First of all, get yourself a sock. Now, you want to make it a make it a nice clean one, for obvious reasons. And the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to cut a hole in the toe of the sock. Now, how big is the hole going to be? It depends on the ball that you want to come out. You don't want to make it too big because it'll fall out. This is a very small ball, so I would not make that hole very big at all. I would make it probably around about this big. So you want to get your scissors, and if there are kids watching this, in typical Blue Peter fashion, get your parents to help you with this. So you want to make yourself a hole. Now that probably is going to be a little bit too big for this ball, but it'll give you the idea. If this goes in here like this, yeah, that's a little bit too big. I made the hole a bit too big, and I've only got one sock, but that would be perfect for a pool ball. It's a bit too big for this. To be honest, this is kind of a small ball. You wouldn't have too much of a problem with this being in your pocket, but you want to get yourself a hole and make it about that big. Then what you're going to do is you're going to take your sock and you're just going to cut at the heel all the way through. So you're just going to cut at the heel all the way through like that. Boom, there you go. You cut that bit off. You can throw that in the bin. You don't need it. And you're left with this. Now, all you're going to do now is take a couple of safety pins, or you can get two neodymium magnets and that'll work fine, but I'd use safety pins. And take the two safety pins and pin this inside your jacket. So it's inside your jacket, so that this part of the sock is just at the bottom edge of your jacket. So if your jacket's here, this is right there. Then all you have to do is drop this into here, and if this was a bigger ball, what would happen is it would stop there and it won't come out. And the reason it won't come out is because the hole is so small, it holds it in place. But because it's sock material, if you just squeeze, it'll go straight into your hand. And I've used these on stage, jumping around on stage, and I've had balls in position in there, and they don't fall out at all. And the nice thing is, when you want to reload it, a lot of these ball holders that you buy, they're a nightmare to reload. As you walk away from the table, all you have to do is just drop the ball back down into the sock, and you're once again able to reload it and use it. So the reset is seconds. It's easy to do. You're going to sacrifice a sock. Just make sure that you don't cut the hole too big. You might need to experiment with a couple of socks, but it is a really good way of creating a ball holder for anything, whether it be chop cup, ball manipulation, any routines that use a pool ball. This is the perfect way to go. So one of my favorite performers is a guy called Jasper Blakely. You might know the name. I did a review show special on him last Sunday, a couple of Sundays ago. I did a review show special on Jasper, looking at his signed card in glass. Jasper's an incredible performer and has literally set the world on fire there and back again with his crazy characters that he's created throughout the years. Everybody knows Cockoff, for example, and if you were in Newcastle at the Tyneside convention when he did his infamous midnight show, you'll realise just how bonkers this guy is, in a good way. So I've got an interview coming very soon on Magic TV, and it's an interview with Jasper. and he's going to be talking all about his career and all about what he's done. It's an incredible interview. It's going to be a really, really popular one as well. I want you guys to look out for that. Here is a sneak peek of the Jasper Blakely interview that is going to be dropping on Saturday. So it's going to be dropping on Saturday in just 7 days time, or 6 days time, or 5 days time, however long it is. So go check that out. It's going to be this Saturday, but here is a sneak peek. And I remember, like I said, when I first saw you, everyone had been saying, have you seen this guy? Have you seen this guy? I was like, no, I haven't seen him. So I went to see you. And I think it was like an after show in the IBM years ago. Like we're talking about 10 or 11 years ago. That's the first time I saw you perform. And you just tore the house down. It was just like a whirlwind that went through that room.
Oh, God.
Oh, it was amazing. And I remember I was sitting there thinking, I've seen so many magicians that perform in front of other magicians and really struggle to engage them. And you had every single person on the edge of their seats. And it wasn't about the magic. It was about they just couldn't stop laughing. And that you just can't teach that. That's just such a skill. So thank you. Like I say, I'm a huge fan, always have been.
That's really kind. That's a hell of a platform to put me onto. People go, yeah, I've never heard of him. It's not that funny. What was the question I was going to ask was it the IBM? It wasn't up in Tyneside, was it? It wasn't the midnight show.
I think it was.
God, that was quite an infamous one. Where I played 3 different characters. Was that the one you saw?
Oh no, show character.
Right. Okay. That was. Yeah. There's too many stories, and this is a PG channel, so there are elements of that which were. Very briefly, if anyone knows, I did. Oh God, I can't believe you saw that one. Things have changed since then. I'm not quite like I kind of am, I suppose. I did my quite camp balloon modeler called Fabio Bendi, balloon modeler to the stars. I followed it up with Uncle Al, the kiddies pal, who's a deranged children's entertainer, who had some certain issues as well. And then I finished with Kokoff doing the live Russian roulette. And I remember in the front row actually there was David Williamson and there was Bob Sheets. I know there was Elsden, John Archer at the back. Obviously, you were there. There were David Penn was there. There were loads of other people there and other magicians, Paul Romani, who I ended up doing work with as well. Some really, really good magicians there. And I just remember it's like they were literally like this. They were like they had no idea what was happening, and it was like Pete, what's his name, Martin Duffy, rang me up and said, "Hi Jasper, come on do this, come and do the show, like get on, I'd be absolutely great." Actually, I'm doing more Michael Murray than Duffy. Anyway, the point being is he said, "Oh, come on and do it." He said, "The midnight show, you can do what you want." I said, "Are you sure?" He said, "Absolutely, no holds barred. It's midnight. They're up for it." I said, "Are you sure?" "Absolutely." No. Are you really sure?" And he was, "Oh yeah, everything. You can do whatever you want." So I went out there, and you could just see this shell-shocked people as I just went at it. And the bit I do remember, just very briefly, is I'm doing the Russian roulette. Now then, it's before I became more controlled doing the guns to the head, and I had these revolvers. But I started doing this, you see. A British audience doesn't care if you wave the gun around. But every time I did like this, Bob Sheets and David Williamson were ducking every time, because their American psyche said, "Man with gun, duck." They were literally going like every time I did it. I said, "They've got a twitch." Oh, there was Steve Axtell at the back. And he had these animatronic monkey things. And I did a Rocky Raccoon as Uncle Al with David Williamson there. And I was just like, "Hey, David." I was like, "Well, what's going on?" Like, "David, watch and learn. And I had the Rocky, I did all of it. It was an Axtell. Anyway, yeah, you see, I get excited because I remember these. That was an absolute, it was 2 a.m. I was doing Russian roulette at 2 a.m. And if you know how it works, put it this way, you need your eyesight. And I'm going, that is the right gun, isn't it? And it was really, there were moments of it, but hey, there you go. Anyway, yeah. Well,
wow. But you know what? People are going to think what Uncle El the kiddies pal, but I want to get into this in a minute.
Yeah.
You're very character driven, and there's so much we can learn from the various different characters that you've created over the years, and that's something that's really personified your career. But before we get into any of that, okay guys, so I want to do a deck review now. I've had so much feedback from you that the deck reviews that I do on the 5x5s are something that you want to see more of. So I don't like doing them every single week, but it is something that I will continue to do on this channel. And today I'm looking at this is called the Quantum Playing Cards. It's by it's the Quantum version 1 QED playing cards. And the first thing I'll tell you is that they are printed by Carter Monday. So the quality is really good. And this is a great deck of cards for the science geeks out there. If you're into physics, this is a deck of cards that you really want to get. These are all themed to physics. You have the equations down the side. Just when you bring the box out, and I'll bring the camera in a little bit closer in a second, and I'll let you see close up the box, and I'll let you see close up the cards. But yeah, I mean, this whole thing's themed to science, and as I say, the box is really nice. It kind of creates intrigue from the first second that you bring it out. And the cards inside here are really, really well made. I just noticed, by the way, for the first time, there's actually a Quantum logo inside the box as well, which is quite cool. But they handle really well. They feel really nice. Like I say, I'll bring the camera in a little bit closer in a second so you guys can have a good look at these. Yeah, I mean, they are what they say they are. You know, they are a deck of playing cards themed to science and themed to quantum mechanics. Now, I've got a friend called Alex Fosen who's actually got a PhD in physics, and also is a magician, and he works, you know, for a company doing physicsy, sciencey stuff. I have no idea what, because I'm not into that sort of thing. But I imagine if you're a magician and you utilize the fact that you're a scientist as well, or you're into science within your performances, this would absolutely make tons of sense. I mean, just the jokers you could probably come up with the trick with, because the jokers have got cats on them, and it's all a reference to Schrodinger's cat. But yeah, I mean, there's nothing else really to say about these. As I say, I'm going to bring the camera in close in a second. My attitude with custom decks, and I've mentioned this before on the channel, but let me briefly kind of say it again to you. My attitude with custom decks is very simple. If I'm going to use I don't collect playing cards. That's not something I do. So if I'm going to use a custom deck, I'm going to actually go and use it for real people. So when I review a deck of cards and they look just like normal playing cards, it's kind of like, why would I want to use those when I could use a deck of bicycle cards, which are ridiculously cheap? So I need the deck that I'm reviewing to either look different, handle differently. For example, the Providence deck, which is my favourite deck of playing cards, not only do they handle superbly, but also when you bring the cards out and they've got that sideways opening box, and then the cards are in there in that sideways opening box, and you know, they feel really nice, and you can see the gold embossing on them. People realise that that's a really cool fancy deck of cards. I think the same would be true of this. I really like the back design. I think it's really good. I think it would create intrigue for people when they first see the deck of cards being pulled out. I recommend them. I think they're really good. I would definitely use them. Let's get the camera in and have a closer look at the Quantum deck. Okay, so this is the actual deck. So this is the Quantum deck of cards. Now, first of all, the box is really nice. As you can see, you know, Quantum cards, Quantum playing cards, QED playing cards. You've got Quantum along the side. You've got along here some, you know, I have no idea what that would be.
Egyptian symbols.
Yeah, right. And this is the Quantum symbol, I believe. So you've got all of this stuff on the outside, which is nice. Quantum red playing cards from Germany, printed by Carter Monday. So when you open this up, there's a nice little quote here. Anyone who is not shocked by quantum theory does not understand it. That's by a guy called, what's that person's name? I don't know, I can't tell. I don't know. But then when you actually open up the cards, now the first thing that you get is you get this science experiment here, which is kind of random. This card is a physics experiment, and it says what you need. I need a red laser pointer, a straight edge, a hobby knife, and this card, and I can do a physics experiment, which is kind of interesting. And then it talks about Thomas Young's double slit experiment there, and you get to find out all about that. So that's the first card you get. Then you get a double backer, which, you know, is very useful for a lot of different things. And then you've got the actual cards themselves. Now, first of all, like I said, they're printed by Carter Monday, so they're really well printed. The cards themselves handle really well. You'll see that in a minute. The backs are really nice. I actually really like the backs of the cards. I think they're really cool. Normally, when I'm doing a deck review, I tell people, if the cards don't look unique, I don't use them. The faces of these cards look pretty much like a bicycle deck, but I like the back so much I probably will use them. I kind of thought that the jokers were really interesting. Schrodinger's cat. If you know Schrodinger's cat, where, you know, the cat could be dead or alive, you don't know until you open up the box. Well, you've got a joker with a cat on that's alive with an eye open, and then there's a joker with a dead cat with both eyes closed. I don't know if you want to do a color change or something, and you can have that cat go from alive to dead or something. I don't know. And then you've got the actual cards. What I found nice is the aces. I thought that the aces were really, really cool. I think it's just the ace of clubs, though, isn't it? I thought it was the other ones. Maybe not. No, it's just the ace of clubs, which is really interesting, because normally the fancy ace is the ace of spades, but the only ace that's actually got that quantum symbol is the ace of clubs. All the other cards, to be honest, are relatively normal. There's nothing really special going on, obviously. The court cards are a little bit different, as you can see, but generally, as a rule, it looks relatively normal. Now, they handle really well, which I can show you. As you can see, they shuffle really well. There you go. As you can see, they handle really well. A lot of people ask me, are they any good for being Pharaoh shuffled? Yes, they are. As you can see, they're very good for Pharaohs. So it's just a very nice deck that's really well made. It handles very, very well. It looks good, and it feels nice. So yeah, it's a recommended deck of cards, if you like, custom playing cards.
So there you go, guys. That's another 5x5 in the bag. Thank you very much once again for joining us here on Magic TV. Hope you liked the video, but please let me know what you think in the comments down below. In fact, if you want to see more videos like this, you know what you need to do. Like the video, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel. I'll be back again on Tuesday with 3 videos. At 9 o'clock, we're going to have a Talk Magic. At 2 o'clock, we're going to have a shorts, and at 6 o'clock, we're going to have a Magic Live. And don't forget, on Wednesday, I'm going to be back with the podcast, the Magic Podcast with myself and Lloyd Barnes. You can get it on Spotify. You can get it on Apple Podcasts. Literally anywhere you can see a podcast, there's a very good chance that you can subscribe to it there. So go check out the Magic Podcast. It is absolutely awesome. And if you haven't already, join the official discussion group for the Magic Podcast, and we will answer absolutely any questions. Nothing is off the table. I'll see you again soon. Thank you very much for joining here on Magic TV. My name's Craig. I'll see you tomorrow.